Hey Chuckleheads, here's a surprise video. I was not expecting to be able to make this, but I am super excited right now. Kind of a long story. Way back in 2004, probably before half of you were born, I was in college and a game came out called World of Warcraft, and I started playing it and absolutely loved it. Got super addicted to it, like addicted to it. Like some of you guys get addicted to Fortnite or Minecraft or whatever it is that your addiction is. This was my addiction for several years. Really love the game. It's been going on for 15 years. They've had a lot of expansions, a lot of updates, and I stopped playing probably around 2007, 2008 when some of the expansions came out and kind of changed the game a little bit. I also had some life issues where I was moving and didn't have all the internet and stuff that I needed at the time. And so I kind of was off and on playing the game. Came back to it a little bit the last few years. Like they would come out with an expansion, I'd go in, try it, say, okay, that's alright, play it for a couple months, and then get bored and quit. Then another expansion would come out a year later, try it, and so on. But the game has really changed over the years. The original game was very challenging. Like you start off being weak as heck, you can't hardly kill anything, you've got no armor, and it's a slow process. It's not like some of these games where, like within 5 minutes you're super geared up and things like that. It's a long, slow process to build your character, and you've got a lot of choice in it. The current version of the game is basically super easy mode. They throw gear at you like crazy. They throw experience at you. You level up so fast. And the world is so easy, there's no challenge to it. The only real challenge in the current game is if you do like Mythic Plus dungeons, which are like the super hardest version of the dungeon, or you do some of the raids. That's the only challenge. Everything else is like just gimme. Just go out there. You don't even have to think. You can have like the worst gear and just screw everything up and you'll still be fine. The original game was so challenging. Like you walk out into the wilderness in the original WoW and you had to be super careful. You had to be thoughtful about what you did. You had to be tactical about what you did. You had to be strategic and think, if I attack that guy there, is that going to pull the guys near him, or is he far enough away? Because I can take one guy, but I don't know if I can take three. And those are the sort of things you had to think about. Now, it's just like, oh, look, 50 of them are attacking me. Well, I'm godlike, so I don't care, sort of a deal. You almost never die in the current version of WoW. The original version of WoW, you died all the time. And you had to think, and you had to learn, and you had to learn how to be precise. You had to learn how to play your character to its strengths and its weaknesses. You had to learn what the different creatures did, what the different mobs did, what their aggro range was, and whether they would attack as a group, whether they would attack singly, different things like that. It was really challenging. And a lot of times you had to work together. There were so many things that were so tough that you were forced to work with other people. The current game, you can go single pretty much throughout the whole thing. So the game has changed a lot, and a lot of people really haven't liked the newer versions of it. And it used to be that you could get private servers that would play the original World of Warcraft version, and a lot of people would play that because they liked the way the original game was. But eventually Blizzard said, nope, that's our property, you can't use it that way, we don't want people playing it. You're violating some legalistic stuff. And they sued people and basically shut them down. And people were like, okay, fine. Then give us the original. Give us your version. Give us the original version so we can play it. And Blizzard was like, no. We've already got this version, and we've put a lot of work into it. We really don't want to. And it take a lot of time and money and those sorts of things. And there was a lot of pushback. A lot of people got really upset. And so finally, Blizzard said, okay, fine, here, we'll make you your version of the classic with, the updated engine and graphics and different things like that. So it's in beta. This is not the finished product. They're still working on it, doing testing and things like that. So I had to go through some hassle to sign up, and I've been waiting for several days to see if I could get into the beta, and there's There's only about a month left. I think it ends in the middle of July. So I don't have a lot of time to play, but the full game comes out at the end of August, so it'll probably be alright. But anyway, this is the game that had me addicted for like 3 years straight. Like when I was in college, as soon as class was over, I was at home playing this. When I got out of college and I was working, as soon as work was done, I got home, I was playing this until like 11 o'clock at night. I was smart. I didn't stay up too late unless I really, really had to because I was finishing something important. But I tried to keep myself under control, but it was definitely my life outside of work and school. So, here we go. First time, World of Warcraft Classic version. Let's see if it's as addicting as I remember. Okay, so you get to pick which type of realm you want to be on. You got normal, which is, normal. PvP is a free-for-all. Basically, you've got two sides, the Horde and the Alliance, and whichever side you pick, the other side's the enemy. And if you ever run into the enemy, you can attack each other, and you get like, I don't know, PvP points and ranks and things like that. I've never been a PvP player. I've never really liked PvP, mostly because, I don't know, I just don't like PvP. Like, there's a few games I'll PvP. World of Tanks was PvP, and I like that. But most of the time, I prefer to just do my thing and not be bothered by other people. RP is role-playing, where you actually have to act like the character and talk like the character, and you can't talk about normal world stuff. Like, you couldn't talk about politics, you couldn't talk about your car, because those are things that don't exist in the game. You can only talk about stuff in the game, and you have to act like a character in the game. So, and you've got population levels. Ooh, PvP is high, go figure. These are low population ones, so let's go to a normal medium. You kind of want a medium. Low means there's not going to be very many people on there, which is in a way good because it means you're not going to be running into other people because they'll be stealing the creatures you're trying to kill or you're trying to mine or something like that. But it also means that when you need help, there aren't going to be very many people available to help. So medium's kind of high is going to be tough because there's too many people. It's going to be hard to get the stuff you need because everybody will be running around farming everything that you're trying to get at the same time. And it's hard to get. You usually have like queues to get in on high because you got a limit on the number of population you can have on a server. So we're going to go with, we'll just do number 1. It's normal and it's medium, so we'll go there. Alright, so here you get to select your character. You've got several different things. First, you've got Alliance side versus Horde. I've never been much of a Horde type person. I tend to prefer the Alliance. And you have races based on which side. You've got the Orcs, who are the original, if you go back to the original World of Warcraft games, original Warcraft games, it was humans versus Orcs. And then they started adding other races into it. So these are the original members of the Horde, and you've got the Undead, you've got the Tauren, and you've got the Trolls. For the Alliance, you've got the Gnomes, Night Elves, Dwarves, and the Humans. He doesn't look very impressive, though. Kind of dumb. Yeah, but then again, there's this guy who's, I don't know. Dwarves look kind of cool. Night Elves are kind of scary looking. And then you've got classes. Each race can have different classes. Like a human, these are the different things. You can be a warrior, paladin, rogue, warlock, mage, or priest. Dwarf. Oh, you can't be a hunter. There is no hunting for them. Dwarf can be a warrior, paladin, hunter, priest, or rogue. No warlock, no magic-y people, because dwarves are kind of anti-magic. Night Elves can be warrior, hunter, rogue, priest, and druid. And the Gnomes can be warrior, rogue, mage, and warlock. They're a little bit more magic-y. They kind of depend on that more than their strength. So having a a gnome warrior is kind of, yeah, not really, doesn't work very well. I mean, there's not a whole lot as far as differences. Like, each race has some advantages, like the gnomes can escape from speed altering effects, they have more intelligence, they resist arcane damage, and they have increased engineering skill because crafting is important in this game. You do a lot of crafting in this. So the problem is the increased intelligence is not really a warrior trait. It's more of a magic user trait. The dwarves can take on stone form, which is going to be a slight increase in defense. Skill with guns, not terribly warrior, but that would work for a hunter. Resist to frost, well, any resistance is good for anybody. Treasure finding, that's useless. Night elves may fade into the shadows. It's kind of limited. It sounds really cool, but basically they just stand still and become invisible for a short time. But as soon as they move or do anything, they pop back out. Dodge chance increased. This is actually good. I've seen some good night elf warriors, because instead of focusing on armor and tanking the damage by just, having super heavy armor, they dodge the hits. So that can be a pretty good tank there. Wisp form while dead, that's like, well, I don't know about that, but the wisp form actually is an advantage because it moves faster than the normal ghost form when you die. Resistance to nature damage, alright. Let's see what I did. The humans. Stealth detection increase, so it's harder for rogues to sneak up on them. Increased spirit, which kind of has to do with their holy damage or some sort of thing like that. Bonus to reputation gains. This is a big one because there are factions that you have to farm reputation with, so this is a good one. And skill with swords and maces increased, so this is kind of a good one if you're going to be some sort of warrior that uses swords and maces, like a warrior or a paladin. Rogues tend to use daggers, and of course priests and mages and warlocks, they shouldn't. They should be using staffs and studs and wands. Orcs, they've got some things here. They've got, their jobs. They've got a shaman, which is a horde only type role. Undead, immune to fear. Consume corpses to gain health. They're basically cannibals. Underwater breathing is increased, so they can swim longer underwater. And resistance to shadow damage. The Tauren have a stomp stun. They've got more health. Herbalism skill, so they're picking flowers in order to make potions. They get more out of it. And then trolls can get increased attack and casting speed, increased regeneration, so they heal up faster. Increased damage versus beasts, and then throwing and bow weapon skills increased. Now, the first time I played this game, I played a human paladin. It says, paladins do battle to protect the world from the force of shadow. Powerful warriors in their own right. They can also call upon the light to heal wounds, create shields of force, and incinerate evil creatures. Although paladins were once exclusively human, a number of stout-hearted dwarves recently been welcomed to the Order of the Silver Hand. So basically, these guys are supposed to be like warriors. They wear the heavy plate armor, they get the shields, they get the maces and the swords and things like that, but they also get some magic ability to heal and to bless and to do those sort of things. It was like, that's awesome. Especially if you're going to go out soloing, you want the protection of the armor plus the self-heals and those sort of things, which is really cool. And it was a really fun thing. I really liked playing the paladin. The problem is the paladin has low damage. Does not kill mobs as quickly as some of the others, because he's so focused on healing himself and the protection that they had to balance it with less damage. So it is kind of a back and forth. Yeah, you survive longer, but it also takes longer to kill the creatures. So yeah, it's a bit of a trade-off. The other problem is that when you get to high level and you get into the raids, the high level raids, like the level 60 raids, the paladin cannot really hold his own up front. He can't, like the warrior can be up front tanking the boss and taking the hits and the things like that, and you can get some rogues in there because they got their high dodges so that they can avoid them. The paladin doesn't have any of that. He's got some armor, but nowhere near as much as a warrior. And he can't really stand toe-to-toe with the monsters that well. Some of the lower level dungeons, sure, but the big end stuff, no. And so what happens, there was a kind of a rule in original World of Warcraft was, if you're in a raid and you can heal, you will heal. So that was the whole, because healing is absolutely super important in a raid in World of Warcraft in the originals. You had to have massive amounts of healers to survive a lot of the raids. And so if you had any kind of healing, you were relegated to being a healer in the raid. And that's what paladins were. Even though they had the armor, even though they had the shields, even though they had the swords and the maces, their damage just was not good enough for them to be DPS most of the time. And they were just better used as being healers. So you end up, spending all your time leveling up with this plate armor and these swords and things, being a warrior, and then you get to the end game and you're sitting in the back spamming your heals, and you never get to use your sword and your shield. And it was kind of disappointing. But I was thinking, again, I really do like the Paladin. It's always been my favorite character to play in most games that I play. I almost always play the Paladin. But I do kind of want to do something different. So I was thinking I wanted to do, not Druid, I want to do a Hunter. So I can do, there's only two that can be a Hunter. I can do a Dwarf Hunter, or I can be a Night Elf Hunter. So which one's going to be better? Because Hunters have really cool things that, A, they're ranged, but they can also do some up-close melee. They're not as strong on the up-close melee. They tend to be more bows and guns. But they also get animal pets that they can tame and use. So, and then they can make traps and things like that to help. So there's a lot more versatility with a hunter. So let's see. Stone form, skill with guns. That is an advantage. Treasure finding, not so much. But the skill with guns, the problem is, guns are not great in the game. Bows tend to be better than guns. Elves. Dodge chance increased. Wisp form while dead. Possible. The problem is I really don't like the night elves that much. I've never been a big fan of the night elves. The dodge chance is nice. The shadow fade, it's really almost useless. You don't hardly ever use it. Because, you can't move. You're stuck in place. You go invisible, but then you're stuck. You can't do anything. So you just kind of sit there maybe and hope your health heals up or something, whatever. The wisp form while dead, it's nice. It speeds up getting back to your corpse. Resistance to nature damage, meh. Dodge chance increase, that's kind of an advantage there. Stone forms, I think that's another one where they get stone form and they can't move, but they get high defense. So it's not great. Skill with guns increased, which could be useful because I'll probably use some guns. Resistance to frost, treasure finding. I think we'll do that. We'll make a dwarf. I like dwarves better than I like the night elves. I honestly do prefer the humans. Their starting area is, I don't know, it's the one I started out in, so I got like the whole sentimentality thing attached to it. And they do have this reputation gain thing, which really does become critical near the end game when you're trying to get reputation with certain factions, because they have recipes for armor and weapons that you need, and so the faster you can gain that reputation, the better. Or should I just do the paladin and say screw it? Because I know the paladin. Oh, choices. This is why the original game was so cool, because they gave you all these choices and they had meaning, they had effect. It's not like, it's not like all the classes play similar to. They are so different from each other. Whichever one you pick is going to be drastically different from every other one, and it matters. And you're really, really limited. I want to do hunter. If I do hunter, I'm going to start out here, which is okay. I'm okay with Ironforge. The dwarves. I do like the humans and Stormwind and Elwyn Forest in that area. I do like the paladin. Ugh. Dang. You know what? I'm just going to do a dwarf hunter. When the real game comes out, if I don't like it, I'll just make a new one. Because this is going to get wiped anyways at the end of the beta test. So if I decide I don't like it, I'll just go back to my human paladin like I did the first time. Alright, so what name should we have? What should we name this? What name should I use for my dwarf hunter? You know what? There was somebody that used to make fun of me, and probably still does, even though he doesn't really leave messages anymore. I'm just gonna call him Doo-Doo. Because apparently I'm Doo-Doo in Minecraft. So might as well be Doo-Doo here. Alright, so we'll do that and accept. Da-da-da, here I am. Alright, so the world is scheduled to be available soon. What do you mean is scheduled to be available soon? Okay. Let's go try a different one. It would be nice if they were actually up. Alright, so after doing a little bit of digging, I found out some kind of disappointing news. Apparently I'm not in the full beta. I'm only been accepted to a stress test beta, which only runs for 3 days and starts at a certain time. Luckily, the start time was only about 15 minutes after I had tried to log in before, so it was kind of a short wait. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed because there was no information, no notification about it. I assumed since, you know, I got in, they said, hey, here you are, access to beta. I was like, cool, I got access to the beta. I didn't realize there was nothing saying you're only in it for the stress test. Alright, so anyway, if I want to be doing this for 3 days, you know what? I'm just going to go back and do the Paladin. Just for old time's sake. Maybe if I get the full beta, I'll go and do the Hunter. Maybe when I get the real game, I'll play the Hunter there. But I'm going to do the Paladin now because, yeah, it's my thing. Alright, still going to name it Doo-Doo. We'll name it Doo-Doo too. Because I got Doo-Doo and Doo-Doo too. Alright. So here we go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
The noble humans of Stormwind are a proud, tenacious race. Though the recent invasion of the demonic Burning Legion decimated their sister kingdom of Lordaeron, the defenders of Stormwind stand vigilant against any who would threaten the sanctity of their lands. Nestled in the foothills of Elwyn Forest, Stormwind City is one of the last bastions of human power in the world. Ruled by the Child King Anduin Wrynn, the people of Stormwind remain steadfast in their commitment to the Grand Alliance. Backed by their stalwart allies, the armies of Stormwind have been called away to fight the savage horde on distant battlefields. With the armies gone, the defense of Stormwind now falls to its proud citizens. You must defend the kingdom against the foul mongrels that encroach upon it, and hunt down the subversive traitors who seek to destroy it from within. Now is the time for heroes. Now humanity's greatest chapter can be told.
Alright, so these are all actually other players. Oh, this is gonna be weird getting used to how it works again. So hear me. I got a big hammer and some blue clothes. I got movement. Okay, movement. Quest givers, I already know about that. Again, there's some big differences, like in the original, not the original game, the current game, this map here. I wonder if I can resize it. But it would actually show where the quest givers are, where all sorts of different things. It made it really easy. The original game, you had to actually go hunting for things. So here's all my stuff. I've got my generic attack. I have a Seal of Righteousness because I'm a paladin. That's one of my spells. Fills me with Holy Spirit for 30 seconds, granting each melee attack an additional bit of damage. Slower weapons cause more damage per swing. Seal of Righteousness, it's only for 30 seconds. So that's one of the things, like, when you start combat, you pop that, and it makes you hit a little bit harder. And there's my heal. I'm going to put my heal down here. There. Drinking water to get mana back. Oh, shoot, I don't want to do that. I want to move it. Alright. So eat food to restore health. Drink water to get mana back. Alright. Alright. Here's a guy with information.
Hey there.
Hey there. Right. That's an annoying thing.
Have a good one.
Having to wait for the text. Let's see. Let's go to main menu, help request, world map. Ooh, world map. So this is not the entire world. This is just the main area. Here's where I'm starting at, Northshire. Capital city. Stormwind's going to be right here. You've got Elwyn Forest here. Duskwood Forest is down there. I think it's Redwood or something's over here. Westfall's over this way. And then the dwarves are on the other side of Burning Steps. So you can zoom out. Here's where we are. Here's Burning Steps. And there's the dwarves with Ironforge. So the dwarves and the humans actually start out pretty close. You've got the Undercity, that's the undead. And then that's just on this continent. The other continent has the Night Elves and most of the Horde. So this is mostly Alliance. Like this bottom section here is mostly Alliance with a little bit of conflict up here. Mix and match between Horde and Alliance up here. The other continent, over here, here's where the Night Elves start out. In Darnassus on the island of Teldrassil. Here's Thunderbluff. That's the Tauren, the big cow-looking guys. And the orcs start in Orgrimmar. So this is mostly a Horde area with a little bit of Alliance right here. So they have kind of a beachhead, but it's still mostly Horde. Alright, so let's go back to where we're at here. Okay, what was I doing? Character info. So, can I move this? Nope. That's one of the things the old, it was very limited. Like, you couldn't move things around very well. It was very locked in position. So I got nothing. I got a shirt. I got a cheap little hammer. Doesn't do much damage. Some boots that they have no armor. They're nothing. So I got nothing on me. So here's all my stats. My resistances. Reputation. My skills. Class skills holy. Defense 1 out of 5. Maces. Man, this is so crazy. Like, I don't even remember half of this stuff. It was so long ago, but it's cool. Two-handed maces. Like, you have to build your skills in these things to get better, to do more damage, to hit harder, or to protect yourself. Like, and some of these I can't do because I'm a paladin, so I probably will never do cloth and leather, mail. I will get shield eventually. I might get mail, but I don't think I ever get cloth and leather. I don't need it, so there's no point wasting time on it. Honor, this is for PvP. Not doing that, so I don't have to worry about it. Spell book, here's the different things. I got attack, block, just happens automatically, don't have to deal with it. And I have less than 5% chance to block. Of course, I don't have a shield, so that kind of doesn't help. Dodge, less than 5% dodge chance. Skills with maces and two-handed maces increase. Perception, if I want to, if I think somebody's sneaking around, I can trigger this. So I can maybe find them, but it's on a 3-minute cooldown. And I have swords. And that's about it. And then my holy, for being a paladin, my holy skills. Heal and that Seal of Righteousness. And I'll get more as I level up. Now, yeah, leveling up. Here's my backpack. Really, really small. Hearthstone. This is like a teleport thing. Teleports you back to wherever you identify as your home. Oh, what was I going to do? That's right. I was going to quest log. Okay, and yeah, that's right. The new game has just a string of them where they just layer them down here, but you actually had to have the book. Oops, wrong book. That kept track of them, and you were limited, like quest 1 out of 20. Social, talking to people. World map. Alright, so let's go to system, graphics, voice chat, no, sound, language, network advanced. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Interface options. We're gonna auto loot for now, mostly because most of the stuff you get is junk, but you have nothing, so you might as well just take everything. Show target of target. That's kind of helpful. Auto self-cast, definitely need that, especially if I'm casting healing spells. Because basically that means if I cast a healing spell, but I'm targeting an enemy, I don't want to actually heal the enemy. So this is basically saying, hey, this is not really a spell for the enemy, so let's target it on ourselves. Enable floating combat text. Scroll up. Auras. Kind of want that, because I need to know, as a paladin, I have certain things that will, auras or whatever, that will fade after a certain amount of time. Don't need parries, damage reduction. Reputation, not so much. Energy gains, honor gains, don't really care about that. Okay. So, display, instant quest text. There we go, so I have to wait for them to write the whole thing out. Status text. Both. I want to see. So here's, now I can look and see I'm at 100%, 58 health, 80 mana. Chat bubbles. Meh. Automatic quest tracking, show cloak, show helm. Hide zone objective tracker. Alright. Nope, I actually want to keep it the same way. Helps. Minimap clock, sure. Detailed tooltips. I'm going to keep that on for now because we'll probably need it. Loading screen tips, sure, why not? Tutorials, for now. Combat, already did that. Controls, did that. Social, profanity filter, definitely taking that off. Enable Twitter, I don't Twitter. Okay, action bars. Alright, so here's what's important. So show. There we go. So you can have, like, down here, the action bar, you can have, like, multiple you can scroll through. So you can have more spells. But there's extra action bars that you can have around the screen, because you're going to get a lot of things that you're going to want to have up. Show numbers on cooldowns. Yes, that's also really important. Cooldown, watching your cooldowns is huge in this game. Timing them, getting the right sequence of attack spells and things like that, getting your cooldowns managed is huge in this game. Lock action bars, presents a picture of add spells in the action bar. Yeah, because I don't want to accidentally, so now I can't pick them up. I have to hit a key, and then I can move them. So when you're like randomly clicking them, sometimes they'll move them and it'll drop them off, and yeah, so you kind of want to lock them in place. Okay, names. Always show nameplates of enemy units. Nameplates. Oh, that's cool. Do I want to see that? Do I care? Nah, not really. Creators, companions, enemy players, minions. Okay. Okay. Alright, so there we go. So I need to go talk to... Oh, there it is. Yeah, there is that little... It's hard to see in the map, but there's a little circle, gold circle. That's where I'm supposed to go. This guy right here.
Light be with you.
Da 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 da. Another volunteer, blah blah blah. Okay. Kill 10 kobold vermin. This is...
Light bless you.
Quest log, okay. I absolutely love this part. Not this part here, wandering around. There's nothing in here, really. Ooh, paladin trainer. Because you have to actually go to trainers to get skills. I would like to train further ways of light. I can get devotion aura. Cost... Ooh, I don't have anything, but I can eventually get it. Which would give 55 additional armor to party members within 30 yards. Players may only have one aura on them per paladin at any one time. So this is where paladins really do help out raids and things like that, is they have these auras, and you get like 3 paladins, they each have a different aura. Gives whole party-wide buffs. But again, that's... It kind of sucks, because you spend most of your time being warrior dude, and then when you get to the high end, you become sit in the back caster dude. But here's some of the other things I can get. Seal the Crusader eventually, which makes me attack faster and hit harder. Judgment, which basically cancels a seal for extra. Blessing of Might increases attack power, but it only lasts 5 minutes. Like every 5 minutes, you got to keep respamming that. Divine Protection. It's one of the bubbles that you get when you're basically invulnerable for 6 seconds. Holy Light, rank 2. That's my healing spell, so it's a second level. It heals me a little bit stronger. So anytime you level up, or you get better in a certain area, you have to go to a trainer to get your skills. You have to buy them too. It costs. In the new version, nah, it's all free and it just kind of comes to you automatically. You just get everything handed to you. Alright, so here's the fun part. I get to go to the Kobold Mines. I love this, I love this, I love this. Because oh man, I remember this so much when I first started playing this. I had no clue what I was doing, for one thing. God, there's a lot of people. This is why high population is bad, because all these people are now after the same thing. They're all hunting the same thing. But these kobolds are funny. Oh no, I missed it. See, you're really weak. This is a level, actually that's a level 3 and I'm playing a level 3, that's cool. Alright. Now, you don't get credit for attacking something like, see how that's gray? That means somebody else has tagged it, so I can't get any credit for killing it. And, oh, I'm back up. Okay. Ooh, level 4. Just... See, that person attacked, they don't get credit. Attack him, attack him. so I heal myself. And your spells can be interrupted by being hit. So I'm a level 1 attacking a level 4. This is sketchy. Come on, keep hitting. There we go. See. Very, very short aggro range. I have to get right up personal on them. Come on. Well, part of the problem is I'm using this big hammer, and it attacks slow. If I had a smaller two-handed one, I could attack faster, but I would do less damage, so it's kind of a trade-off again. I always like it when somebody helps out with one of my kills. Yeah, it is a much slower game. It is definitely a slower game. It's slower on killing, it's slower on progression, it's slower in pretty much everything. But I don't know. There's some really cool aspects to it. One of the things that hasn't opened up is the talent tree. You don't get that till level 10. And that's where you really, really get to do the role-playing part, where you get to say what kind of character you want, what skills do you want to focus in. Nope, wrong one. Ooh, I got armor. Yay. So what I want to be able to do is, can I unmove? Yes, I can move this. Cool. Alright, so put that down here where it's easy for me to see. Move frame. Let's take that one. Put that one where it's easy to see. Lock frame. Lock frame. Cast bar underneath. Okay. Now, here's where things get tricky. Like, now, in this case, not so much because they have a short aggro range, but a lot of times, if they were that close, you would not want to attack, because attacking one would cause the other to also get drawn in. So you have to time things just right. And there we go. In old World of Warcraft, that would be a ding, meaning I leveled up. So I just made level 2. Now, I don't get instant upgrades to everything. I mean, some skills increase the more you use them. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, it says your skill and things increase. So as you use them, your skills increase. So I'm getting slightly better at using two-handed maces. And I totally forget what the heck I'm supposed to be doing for this quest. I think I'm supposed to be collecting candles. Or I'm just supposed to be killing 10 kobolds. I don't remember. I'll have to look at that. Quest. Kobold. Oh, I need kobold vermin. I'm killing the wrong ones. Gosh, dang it. Oh well. I have to go find the vermin. Jeez. Abandon. Oh, there we go. Now it's over there on the side. I should probably heal myself. I'm about to die. There we go. That would have been embarrassing. Well, maybe not, because then you can see what happens when you die. Because death actually matters. You lose experience, you lose gold, your items take damage, so you have to repair them. That's a worker. I need vermin. Vermin. Here, let me clear these out. Combat mode, okay. Loot, spells and ability, okay. Looting, food, backpack, using items, drink, and equipment. Okay, so let's... Oops, character. And... what is it? B for bag. There we go. So this... now I've got some armor. Look at that. My armor just jumped up. Sweet. And my boots. Trade those out. Now I've got even more armor. This is a one-handed mace. It does 2 to 4. I've got a two-handed mace that does 3 to 5, but its speed is 2.9. This speed is 1.9, so it's got 1.6 damage per second, 1.4. Oh, hey, somebody buffed me. That was nice of them. That's one of the things about... oh, who was it? Oh, you seriously? Server shut down in 30 seconds. What the heck? Oh, well. Alright, so... guess we'll have to come back when they're back up. I'm not sure what the deal is. Not sure why they're shutting down. They just started. Alright, so that's kind of a beginning. I'll probably add more to it when the servers come back up and I get more into it and show you more things. But there we go. World of Warcraft Classic, the game that had me addicted for years. I don't know. Am I going to add more to this video or should I just make a second video? I think I'll just make a second video. I'll just put this one up the way it is. So whenever this comes back, I'll make more recordings and add that to a second video. Until then, I'll see you guys later.